G'day, groovers. Hello, hang on a sec. Hi, everybody. Well, hi, Angela. If it's you and me, I'm happy with that. How you doing, groover? What's going on? I'm just double checking everything is muting and working, and StreamYards, which is the platform I use when I go live on YouTube, and YouTube haven't been communicating very well today. So while I was trying to go live, I kept getting error messages. So here we are. It looks like it's all happening, which is very exciting on this rather fresh autumn, winter evening in Tasmania. It's winter technically, isn't it? Or are we still in autumn? Anywho, seems like a good night for soup. And also I'm going to make, for the very first time, keto bread rolls. And I'm really hoping my friend Glenn, who cooked with me last weekend, I'm really hoping he pops in because he made them during the week. And I just want to know if he's stuck to the recipe or if he tweaked it a little bit. So that's riveting. Because I've just been reading the comments under the keto bread rolls, and there are sort of tweaks that some people are saying are way better than the actual recipe. I don't know whether to just stick to the actual recipe or whether to be a bit of a rebel. Hello to everyone too over on Facebook land. If any of you would like to join us on YouTube, I have just popped the link in there for you. If you click on that, it will take you to the YouTube channel, and you can join in chat and so on with us on YouTube. And of course, if anyone would like to pop up and chat, just refreshing. No, it looks like we're working on YouTube now as well. So everything's working, and looks like it's just me, maybe. Me and Angela hanging out. Looks like it keeps freezing. Anyway, I could just get on with cooking. But, yeah, maybe I'll message Glenn and just see if he's around. because I'd love his input on the bread. But we can certainly start making the bread. The bread's going to take about 50 to 60 minutes to cook. So I'm going to make that first and then move on to the soup, the cauliflower soup. Just messaging Glenn. What's everyone been up to? Anything exciting to report? Okay, I've just messaged Glenn to see if he's stuck to the recipe. You're well. Well, that's great. And you love soup, even better, because that's what we're making tonight. Now, I know it's a little bit early. Some people are probably still technically working. They might finish working at 5:30. But it's just fun. I've just really liked going live. And, okay, so Glenn's stuck to the recipe. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like Glenn. Because the bread recipe has 3 eggs in it. The recipe says to separate them and just use the whites. And then I did read, someone said they were going to save the egg yolks because there's a keto mayo recipe that uses egg yolks. But another person said, no, brush the buns with the egg yolk to help with browning and to help the sesame seed topping that we're going to put on it to help them stick as well. So I was curious. But what I'm going to do is stand up, flick this camera around a little bit better. And, yeah, Glenn's just saying they take a good while to cook, 40 to 50 minutes. Right. Okay, so Glenn stuck to the recipe, so we're going to as well. Hey, Lady Pegasus, you'll be back in a few minutes too. You're in a rush and you'll go grab a few things while I wait for others. You'll be back. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm heating up the oven at the moment. The only thing I have to report at the moment, very exciting, I've got the oven set to 175. And the recipe also says to use the bottom rack in the oven. So I've put it right down the bottom. But what I might do is start... okay, Glenn's about to go. Well, have fun shopping, Glenn. I'll just give him the thumbs up. So we're using the Diet Doctor website again. These are both recipes that you can access without being a member. So if you like the look of them, you can, I'm just unlocking my phone because I'm using the recipes on my phone. But, yeah, if you like the look of these recipes, they are accessible even if you're not a member of their website. So I only ever cook the free recipes. Diet Doctor were more than happy for me to go live and cook stuff, but they did say just do the stuff that's available to the public. So this is what they're supposed to look like. I mean, they look pretty bloody good. And I'm hoping if I time it well that they will come out of the oven and be toasty and warm right when my soup is finished. And then dinner will be served. But look at that with lashings of butter. And focus. And the thumbnail for this live is the cauliflower soup, which looks incredible because it's going to have a bacon and nut and butter thing like mixture to go on top of it. So I might adjust this camera angle and we can get on with making some bread, unless anyone's got any exciting news they want to share. Possibly a bit early in the afternoon, but, you know, I can just chat. People can watch the replay, and welcome to anyone who is watching the replay. It's nice to have you watching the replay. It's actually quite a nice day here today. It wasn't really cold. I mean, it was fresh. G'day, Aussie. How you doing, mate? Just in time to make soup and bread rolls. How's your Barbie? How'd your Barbie go? All right, I'm just going to flick this thing around. Just got to get back into StreamYard so I can see the angle. Oh, hang on. I think I just have to push that down. See, at request of people to be able to see the bench and what I'm doing on it, that's as good as it gets, grievers. In the absence of a camera man or woman, that's as good as it gets. Okay, so yeah, the oven's set at 175 for the bread, but if you're in the US of A, that's perfect. Thanks, mate. If you're in the US of A, you'd be looking at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So first up, we're just going to put all the ingredients in now. This is for 6 servings, so 6 rolls. And yeah, let's just see how this goes. So first up, we need 5 tablespoons of psyllium husk. Now, the recipe says psyllium husk powder. This is husk, and I did read if you don't have the powder, the husk can be a little bit gritty. So what I might do is just give it a bit of a whiz. Didn't think about this. Half of my kitchen is now on my dining room table. It takes a while to prep all of this and set it all up. Okay, that's got Tex-Mex seasoning mix in it. So I'm going to actually grind up the psyllium husk a bit. Just to make it a little bit more powdery, because I did read in the notes that I'm just washing my little bean grinder. If you're in the USA, best you learn metric like the rest of the world. Exactly. Ah, bon appetit. Hey, Will. Doing, oh, no, you've got bad storms again. Bummer, mate. Stay safe. The footage you sent the last storm was pretty cray-cray. Stay safe, Will. Will does a fantastic Julia Childs impersonation. Bon appetit. He did a little voice track he sent me. You should come up and narrate this in a Julia Childs voice, Will. That could add a bit of excitement to the whole proceedings. So, yeah, I don't know if this theory is good or not, but I'm just going to put these 5 tablespoons in my coffee bean grinder and just blitz the crap out of it in the hope that it goes a little bit more powdery. Actually, I've just put 3 tablespoons in. I probably would have to do this for 3 hours. You'd love to, Will? I'll pop the link in chat. Hang on. Come up and give us your best. I mean, anyone is welcome to take the link and jump up and have fun, like cause chaos, whatever the fuck you want. I think realistically to get these to a powder, probably have to do this for about an hour. So I'm not going to be too precious. If they're a bit gritty, we know why. So 2 more tablespoons of psyllium husk. It really doesn't look any different to when I went in. All right. Let's just blitz the fuck out of the last bit of it. Hey, Anne-Marie, how you doing? Welcome. Doing great. Lady Pegasus is back. We can start. We have already started, Lady Pegasus, but all I'm doing is just blitzing the psyllium husk a little bit to make it a bit more powdery. Because I did read in the recipe notes that if you don't use psyllium powder, it can be a bit gritty. So Dennis is doing really good. Woohoo, that's awesome. Will's going to get his Beatles wig on too, even better. So there's the psyllium husk, 5 tablespoons. Tried to make it powdery. Don't think it did much at all, but that's okay. Now I'm also fucking with the recipe because the next ingredient is almond flour, and I still haven't been able to get almond flour, so I'm using this baking flour, which is a combination of flax and almond, but they did actually say in the notes in the recipe that you can use flax if you don't have almond flour, so I'm not being too much of a rebel. But we need 150 grams of that. Right on 150. Look out. Look out. Chuck that in. So it's just all of the dry ingredients we're popping in at the moment. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Done. A teaspoon of sea salt. Done. And then I think we just mix that up. But I'm just going to bring some water to the boil. So while the kettle's on, you don't have a table, so you'll be laying down. You can be a sideways Julia Child's, Will. That's fine by me. So just giving the dry ingredients a bit of a mix. Don't have to go too crazy. Or maybe you do, I don't know. And what we're going to put is some cider vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar. And some egg whites to the dry ingredients before we add the water. So they need 3 egg whites. Bit of live egg separated. God, the light's really bad in here tonight. Sometimes it's like so full on I can barely see because I'm blinded, and other nights the ambiance is dark. Just going to save the egg yolks in another bowl because I read that you can brush the egg yolks over the top of the rolls to help them go brown on top. So that's what I'm going to do. Lady Pegasus, a lovely day for tennis. Only 6 of the 10 are playing. Well, it's good that you're able to get back out there. I can't read chat while I'm separating eggs. I nearly dropped the yolk into the white. I mean, this is extreme cooking, motherfuckers. I'll catch up with chat in a minute because if I talk and read chat, my brain doesn't focus on what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm the sort of person that would just, drop the yolk straight in with the whites. Like that time I made the Tex-Mex seasoning and it was 2 teaspoons of paprika and I did 2 tablespoons. And that stuff was out of control. So I'm just going to put 225 mils of water, I think, from memory into a little jug because we're going to do some mixing, but only for a few seconds, 30 seconds actually. Apparently we fuck these rolls up is if you over mix it. So Yes, it's a delicate operation is about to commence. And also 2 teaspoons of cider vinegar. Yeah, I can't be bothered freezing egg anything, Lady P. There's a really nice recipe for mayo, which I'd normally use the egg yolks for, but I'm just going to brush the buns with them. So the 2 teaspoons of cider vinegar have gone in there, and then I'm going to put the egg whites as well, and then we're just going to combine them really well with a spatula. Just get it all nicely mixed. But basically, according to this recipe, what you're hoping for is a mixture that's the combination of, or like Play-Doh. No, this is a different thing, Lady Pegasus. The other day was a mix that came in a mystery box, a keto-friendly mystery box. This is making it from scratch. I'm making rolls too. I showed them at the start. So when you if you want to rewind, you'll see it at the not long after I started. I showed it the photo of them. Actually, I can do it again before I do the water. I'm making these. These are on the Diet Doctor website. These bread rolls. Okay, I'm just going to ignore chat for a minute because what I have to do is pour the boiling water in and beat with a hand mixer for about 30 seconds to try and get it to be like Play-Doh, apparently. But I can't overmix it, so I'm just going to do that. You just talk amongst yourselves. And you just gradually add the water. So I'm going to do it pretty gently. I can hear someone backstage. It might be Will. I won't be long, Will. I'm just doing a very delicate operation here, and I can't overmix it. So I just have to hang backstage for a second, Groover. This is nothing like Play-Doh. I feel like I've totally overmixed that. So I'm just going to stop and mix it by hand. I'll just add Will backstage.
Good
Hello,
day,
Will. How you doing?
I didn't get my wig on, actually. Julia Child just wants to have a regular hair.
Well, you're looking lovely, Julia Childs.
Thank you so much. I'm getting old, too.
Right? Isn't she dead?
Oh, I'm just fat and lazy, like to get my butter.
I think I'm going to completely ruin this bread because I just tried to mix it. I'm just going to put some olive oil on my hands and try and just gently get it in at least a blob.
Oh, Tori, be careful there. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Julia Childs remembers Pie the Sailor Man likes his olive oil.
True. True, but it's not. It's meant to be the consistency of Play-Doh, and it's far from it, Julia.
I understand. I mean, I got a bump the turkey on the butt when I dropped it on the floor that one time on PBS television.
You ended up just cooking it, though, didn't you, Julia?
Well, that turkey was a bad turkey, and I spanked that thing like this, hard. Oh, boy, that turkey was mad at me.
You're dead. Did you grow up watching Julia Childs?
I sure did, actually. I love Julia. She's always been my favorite.
See, we didn't, so I didn't know really about her till Julia and Julia, the movie.
Oh, I love Julia. I mean, that broke my heart, like, when she went, she really wanted to meet her, and she got to meet Julia eventually. It's a blessing that she got to meet her. And Julia Childs, that was her real voice. She never stayed in any place. She loved to travel.
She did. I've totally screwed up this bread dough. I don't know what I've done wrong. I'm just adding oil.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know what? You never screw up anything. Keep going.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with screwing up something when you're cooking on live on YouTube. But yeah, it's not.
It's a pastry.
Well, but it's no, because you're meant to be super gentle with it, and I'm now massaging olive oil into it, which I am hoping will at least. Yeah, I fucked it big time.
I understand. I did the same thing to that turkey one time. Whoop! Oh dear.
Well, Lady Pegasus Will is impersonating Julia Childs.
I know, Lady Pegasus. Julia Childs did have a different. I thought she was English at one time. She actually did.
She had a very strange accent, didn't she?
She did. My aunt Eleanor had the same accent too, kind of.
I'm going to pop a little bit more boiling water and just try mixing it again because I think I've fucked it big time, but that's all right.
Oh, it's okay. You know what? Being a drummer for 28 years, if you mess up, it's okay. Just fix it. It's okay.
We learn from our mistakes, don't we, Will?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect drummer. I enjoy playing music, and I like to mess up. Actually, I like to learn from my mistakes.
It's just not combining at all. I can't. It's just not combining.
I know.
Now I can't turn my thing off.
Sorry, it's a little hard to hear. I'm actually on the speaker on my old Samsung Galaxy A tablet right now.
It's doing you well.
I know it does. It just needs a little more butter to make it more slippery. Oh, great.
The storms in Texas, you've got more storms because the one the other day looked really bad.
Yes, ma'am. The storms are bad right now. It's like I go outside. I want to mow my grass, and I cannot get the lawnmower wet. Of course, it's like, okay, I'm not going to take the risk here, but I got to get my yard done, or the city's going to be so mad at me.
Who's going to be mad at you?
Oh, the city. Of course, they got to have some way of complaining about the grass being too tall. It's like 6 inches. It's like, wow.
So like your what we would call a council.
Yes.
Right. Do they put orders on you there like they do here if your grass gets too long?
Yes, ma'am, they do. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Big time. I get like 2 strikes, not 3. And I'm out like the whole ball game.
So fess up, how many strikes have you got?
Yes, I actually got 1 strike. That was last month. And I eventually got to the point where I told my friend, it does cost $40 actually. It's a good friend of ours. His mom was my babysitter when I was a sitter when I was a little bitty kid. And he actually needs some money, of course. I said, Mom, here. And so I actually put $40 aside for him on emergencies only.
Yeah.
When, of course, I cannot get out there to mow. I actually have really bad my right foot playing drums for 28 years. I do work security, actually, at the expo center where we have bands that play. And always on my feet. And it hurts.
Doesn't sound good, Will.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell already these are going to be really rubbery and wrong. But I'm still going to bake them anyway because
I bet they'll turn out wonderful. I really do.
No, they feel too dense. They feel like they're going to be very rubbery. So I'm just putting olive oil on my hands to shape them into a little bit of a roll shape. But
just don't tell Popeye.
You can tell.
Popeye.
No, but I can tell from the dough that it's it's rubbery. Like they're not going to be good, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun of cooking. If people don't cook because they're scared of failing, then they're never going to cook. I agree,
Yeah,
Lady Texas. We all agree that Will looks like Shane Jacobson. That's a definite.
I
I
feel
feel
like a big bopper if I had my hair more like straight back, like flat top. Oh, baby, Chantilly lace and a pretty face. Okay,
you sing like him.
that guy. I heard he was not a very nice guy.
Oh, the big bopper. He died. He died in a plane crash, didn't he?
Yes, ma'am. He actually hit Buddy Holly to find out. That's why Buddy Holly actually had one of his teeth missing.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Far out. So I'm just before we talk about what a prick the big bopper was, I'm just going to whip up the egg yolks and I'm going to put them on top of these buns because if they're horrible chewy blobs, at least they can have some nice brown crunchy tops on them, right?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. I'll always say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. I was brought up, proper etiquette all my life, and
I know I always feel bad because I swear so much, and I swear when you're on my live, and you're such a gentleman.
That's okay. You know what? I say the F word all the time. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all groovy.
I've never heard. Can you just say it once just to make me feel better?
Oh, fudge.
Fudge is not the F word.
I had a really fucked up day yesterday.
Woohoo!
I did. Sorry, I had to say it. Sorry.
No,
but I stubbed my effing toe really bad last night.
Hang on a sec. I'm just sprinkling the this keto seasoning. They're the sesame seeds that have seasoning mixed through them, so they've kind of got like a bagely flavor. I'm just going to put them on top, and then I can stick these rubbery blobs in the oven because I did watch a video on how to make these, and they didn't look anything like this at all.
I had a really, really good idea. If you poke like a little hole, or like a small little hole, like in the dough,
yeah,
put some of the seeds inside, and have a little more crunch to them, maybe.
Look, I'm trying. I'm using these as sparingly as I can because I'm not anticipating any of these buns are going to be remotely edible. So I
gotta tell you, I loved it. I loved the beach. The beach yesterday was so beautiful. I mean, it's so peaceful. Thank you so much for walking on the beach. I really appreciate that. It helps me relax my mind. Just, I appreciate that so much, Tori. I really do.
Oh, thank you, Will. That means a lot because I like going for walks, and it makes me feel good to know that people enjoy strolling along as well.
I also want to be sure that you're safe, also, because work security and safety is always first. And
first,
I want to be sure that we're there with you when you're walking because I actually, when I walked one time, I actually tripped and it hurt so bad, and I twisted my foot and. Very likely, I was able to get up really quick. It does not feel good.
So everyone can have a look at these. These are the this is the dough before it goes into the oven for nearly an hour to bake, and I suspect they are going to be terrible. I know that I've overworked the dough. It feels like rubber. I've added olive oil, you name it. Everything I could possibly do to wreck them. I'm just going to wait for the oven to get to 175 or 300 Fahrenheit in your lingo, Will.
Always remember, always think positive, though. Don't think negative until they're done. Always.
I'm being tongue-in-cheek. Matty, g'day. Hi, Kathleen and Dan. Hey, people over on Facebook World. I'm making cauliflower soup and I'm making keto rolls, but I think I've rooted the keto rolls. So they look okay, Angela, but they feel like bouncy balls. So they're going in. I'll set the timer.
Oh, number 10. Here they go into the oven. They're going to be cooking for a little while.
Oh, number 2. Now, apparently you know that these are cooked when you tap them on the bums and they make a hollow noise.
Like Kentucky.
I don't think these are going to be hollow at all. Hi, Kangaroo. Welcome to chat. How you doing, gorgeous? They do look good, Lady Pegasus. They do, but I'm not a bread expert, but they don't feel good. But we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. May the keto gods smile down on us.
Yeah, I got my arthritis crossed. Ow! I'm okay. Arthritis.
All right. So the soup we are making is delicious. It's if you love cauliflower. If you don't, you might want to tune out right about now.
Oh, I love cauliflower.
But have a look at this soup. It is the thumbnail. Oops, it is the thumbnail for this live as well. But look at that.
Oh, man. Yummy. Oh, man.
Yummy. So that's what we're going to move on to. I'm just going to have a bit of a swig of my ginger beer.
I had some ginger ale a little earlier with some cranberry juice. Oh, man.
Really? Ginger ale and cranberry. That's an unusual combo.
It has a little bit of a kick to it, actually, but if it sits too long, it kind of loses its consistency.
Is that like a Texan thing or?
It's my mom actually introduced me to it. It's kind of a weird, but if it sits too long, don't drink it. It's real flat. I love wine coolers.
You like wine coolers?
I like blackberry.
What flavor?
Where did Aussie go? Aussie.
Where he went. He probably didn't feel like soup and bread.
Oh, he was working on the game late last night. That game was awesome.
Oh, was he playing the game last night?
Oh man, that game was so cool. I miss my friends. I used to play those. So I played Call of Duty a long time ago, and I miss those days, but I don't have any time anymore.
No.
I've been playing drums, I'm a vet tech assistant, and I also love doing security, helping out. Someone asked me, when I do security, do I hurt anyone? No. That's the least I want to do.
Absolutely, it'd be the least. Now, I've got Glenn over on Facebook. I don't know if you were in the chat or not, Will, when I started, but Glenn made these rolls during the week, and he's just said on Facebook, don't worry about the springiness. They'll be fine. So, yeah. So we're all good hoping. So now we're doing the cauliflower soup. So the first thing is I've got 300 grams of cauliflower, and I'm just going to cut them into smaller florets. Now, the smaller you cut them, the quicker it will cook, but we're going to be using a hand mixer down the track anyway. But I'm going to put them into florets, and then I'm just going to pinch a little handful of it and make smaller pieces because they're going to get pan fried with some bacon and some nuts to sprinkle on top.
Oh, man, you have a lot of good flavor.
How good does that sound?
It sounds groovy. I got to tell you, I love cauliflower. I used to love ranch dressing with it. And
me too. When I lived in the States, I used to love cauliflower with ranch dressing.
I love broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus. When I was younger,
what is your absolute favorite? Oh, sorry, Will. What's your favorite veggie?
Honestly, when I was younger, I didn't like any vegetables. I even love Brussels sprouts. I love anything I used to not like because it's good for you.
I love Brussels sprouts.
I love rhubarb.
Yeah, rhubarb's great.
But don't eat the leaf. Don't eat the leaves. The leaves are very poisonous.
They sure are.
Yes. How is Sweet Biscuit doing?
Sweet Biscuit's got to go to the vet tomorrow.
Oh, don't say it too loud.
I know. It's going to be traumatic. As soon as I get her CATBOX out, there's going to be, it's going to be interesting. But I did buy her a little harness, and I found that if I put her in that, it does subdue her a little bit. But she's the last time she went to the VET, when I picked her up, they said that she was really full on, and I was like, oh no, was she the worst patient you've had? And they said no, she was the second worst.
I had a cat actually deliberately clean its claws to my back one time and never let go, and I got to go, ah.
I wish I was taking her to your vet, Will. You'd be able to look after her because she
will.
spent like nearly a year in a cat home, and they were basically, it was like living in a vet's, and because there were vets everywhere. So she's just got this. She's just not a fan, and she goes nuts. So tomorrow's going to be a bit traumatic for both of us, I think. But she's sort of sniffling and sneezing, and her breathing's a little bit laboured, and I just want to have the vet check her out.
I know cats can get asthma. Like, I have asthma all the time. When I was a little bitty, I had asthma attacks. And I finally got me a new mask because I'm really severely claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I got the mask my mom made me really quick. Hold on, I got to reach for it. The one my pawpaws, one second. I got to reach here.
Yeah, because I want to talk to you about masks. So I've just cut the cauliflower for the groovers watching. I've just cut it up into smaller florets, and then you just take a little handful out that you're going to cut up even finer, and the rest of it's going to go in the pot.
This is my pawpaws.
It's so cute.
My mom sewed this for me. The bad part is it does not fit around my ears very good, so I had to I'm just getting old.
Now, Aussie Outlaw's here. He's just getting some things done. Now, is it compulsory for you, Will, to wear the masks out? Like, do you have to wear them when you go out?
Not really. But actually, I like to, though, when I'm like at Walmart because I feel safer, like, someone's around me. And but I actually got one on the way. It has a built-in fan.
A built-in fan?
Oh, Lady Pegasus, that's a good question. It is 2:42 a.m. here. I'll be up. I kind of slept during the day, which is not a good thing.
Now, Ozzy said he's still here, but I want to know if Ozzy was still here when you dropped the F-bomb before, because that was an historical moment in the world of the YouTubes that I got you to say the F word.
Oh man, do you know my pawpaw actually? I couldn't say the word no to him, or he'll whip my ass. My pawpaw actually, he was so strict with proper etiquette, it was ridiculous. Had to wear a tie to church. I could not wear. I had to always comb my hair. He had to put this weird, smelly, nasty stuff in my hair. He said, "Well, here's some brute." I still have his glass bottle in my, and that stuff stinks. Oh. But when I smell it, though, I think of my pawpaw, and it brings tears to my eyes.
They're pretty special, aren't they?
Yes.
Grandparents and so on. I don't want to cut you off, but I'm just talking while I'm cooking. But I just want to let people know I'm going to measure up for 200 grams of bacon. I'm going with the streaky bacon, the Canadian style bacon.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm going to cut the rinds off it. But yeah, you need 200 grams, and this is a 250 gram pack. So it's most of the pack. Because we're going to be frying this up with the cauliflower and also the nuts, I think.
I'm always nuts.
Now, Ozzy, how are you doing, Deb? I'm loving keto. I'm loving it. We've got Deb who's joined us. She's in Tasmania as well, Will.
Hey, Deb. How you doing? Good day from Temple, Texas, the hot state. And it's weird weather here.
She's I think about to start keto, so I'm loving it, Deb. We should have a good chat about it. But I love the website that I'm subscribed to. I think that makes a big difference as well, because there's a really good Is there going to be like one rasher of bacon left? 1.5. Well, guess what I'm having with my breakfast tomorrow?
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, streaky bacon.
I love egg beaters. Like egg beaters, which is actually egg whites when I make scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
I like to use healthier. I try not to use the yolk because yolk is more fattening.
It is, yes. But it's funny because on keto, I remember the very first week I started it, I did the shopping list and I had to have 19 eggs for 1 week. And I was like, what?
Oh, 19, wow.
Yeah, but a lot of them went into bakes and things. But to get your body into ketosis, you do this, and I'm about to do it again. Starting next Monday, I'm doing the 2 weeks again just to get back into the swing of it again. But I love it. I feel great. I feel so much better. Weight loss is lovely, but it's how you feel that is the important thing. And I just feel amazing. Feels great.
The only thing I don't like about this tablet is, for some reason, I cannot. The camera is on a weird side on this tablet. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Have a look at Debbie. She's saying she's lost 56 kilos. Now, I don't know what that is in pounds.
Congratulations.
But 56 kilos is so much. So, sorry, she's not starting keto. She's done it because she lost 56 kilos doing it.
Way to go, Debbie.
Deb, she's tiny. I can't even imagine you having 56 kilos total.
Wow.
On your body. She's got 20 more to go. That just blows me away. I haven't seen Deb for a long time, but it blows me away that she 76 kilos. Far out, Deb. We've got to have a chat.
I wish I was like Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger could eat as many hamburgers as he wanted and not gain a pound. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, but he's scrawny.
Yeah, it's like, I did not know this, but he's not a drug person. He does not do all that, He's more healthier than he exercises a lot. When he was younger, he was talking about, when you're young.
Hang on a sec. Sorry.
Okay.
I've just realized that I hadn't changed the setting on the soup. I actually only need 125 grams of bacon because I'm making enough for 4 servings, not 6. I was thinking, God, that's so much bacon. But Mick Jagger's scrawny. Who wants scrawny? Like, men and women both are better with a little bit of meat on them, right?
Yeah, I know he also had I think he had a stent put in his heart because of hypertension, I heard. He always ran on stage a lot, and now they're actually putting on top of the stage the different songs to pick.
Well, that doesn't sound... Hang on. 130 pounds is 56 kilos, Will.
You gotta be kidding me.
And honestly, when I met Deb, I reckon she would have been 60 kilos total. So I can't even imagine where you've put that on your body. Oh, you're awesome, Deb. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, I gotta tell you, it feels so good to have I got a mattress, firm mattress. This thing is actually, it's electric bed.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before. So it helps you get up and out of bed, does it? Or
I have to wear this every night, which I hate. CPAP mask.
So do you stop breathing while you're asleep? Is that why you wear that?
Oh no, I used to actually. I was on BiPAP for a while, then I lost a lot of weight, and I'm on CPAP machine. But I retained a lot of water weight. So this right here in about a week, if I drink a lot of water, it'll be gone. All this.
Okay.
But I can't have sodium. Sodium is a bad part. I'm actually a lot skinnier than I look. I'm actually was 365 pounds a while back. Now I'm 348 pounds.
Right.
But I don't look it, I know for a fact. But
yeah. Well, sometimes the water, when you lose fluid, it's incredible, how quickly, you lose all the pounds sort of disappear. Like, it's amazing how much that fluid weight is.
Yes. I've been doing this thing, water aerobics too. So I mean, water aerobics has really been helping. Hopping in the water, saying, "I'm gonna jump around."
The water aerobics is great because you're weightless, but it's a hard workout. I used to go to this really lovely health and wellness place in Australia called the Hunter Valley, and they had a few water aerobics type classes, and it was a full on workout. Like, I didn't realize you could actually sweat when you were in the water.
Thank you so much, Lady Pegasus. I gotta tell you, you know what? I either work out or just, I'd rather not be, I, in a way, actually, I am on a little disability because a while back I hurt my spine really bad. And I'll tell you what happened. The honest truth is I was working on stage for Willie Nelson concert here. Willie Nelson. And
did he give you some really good pot to get rid of the pain?
Oh, I sure could use some of his.
Yeah, Lucas Nelson comes out to Australia for a music festival called Blues Fest, and he and Jack Johnson did a couple of songs on stage. And Jack Johnson, one of the songs that he did with Lucas, he sang it to Lucas, was about how stoned he got with his dad one night. So the song's called Stoned with Willie Nelson. It's actually on my channel. If you scroll all the way down, you'll find it. But Willie's a lovely man. I've been told. It's a good guy, isn't he, Will?
Yes, Willie Nelson was very, very sweet. I set up the stage, and what happened was I had to be on a cherry picker. I was on a rope trying to hang at one of the lights.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a little bobcat, pull me backwards. Well, was not a good idea, so it pulled my back out. Very luckily, the rope tied a knot.
Ouch.
And all it went, my back was like this. And I had to fight the pain because I did not want to have a workers' comp, and all that kind of stuff going on. And I was like, I'm okay. Of course, my eyes are just watering. I wanted just to bawl my eyes out, but I was very tough. I'm still working there.
That's amazing. Like, it is okay to cry when you've hurt your back. Bloody hell, that hurts.
I have a dislocated.
Welfare is on panel, Kanga Blue. This is Will up on panel with me.
Hey.
Kanga Blue was asking if you were there, and I'm like, yeah, he's up here on panel. Just so if anyone wants to know what's going on, I'm just cooking I'm not cutting off Will with his stories, but just remembering to do the cooking bit too. So I've got the bacon cooking. I'm now going to add the cauliflower, and then I'm going to chop up some nuts. And these all get fried up really crispy, so they're like a topping that's going to go on top of the soup. But here's the thing for you, Will. Which nuts? I've got walnuts or pecans.
Honestly, I think you should decide.
No, come on.
Walnuts.
I'm actually going to go pecans. Because I was just thinking of the picture. They've used pecans and they're really dark, whereas the walnuts, because it's cauliflower. Maybe what if I do a mix?
It is Lady Pegasus, so I'm always laying on my side because my disc, I refused surgery a while back, and I kind of wish I would have got the surgery.
See, have a look, Will. That's with the pecans.
Oh, so it's beautiful.
It's more dramatic color.
Are those cranberries?
No, they're the nuts. They're pecans. Can you see it now that it's focused?
I'm blind as a bat. Oh, yes. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm going to go pecans. I just think they look prettier. I think the walnuts would be yummier, but not as dramatic looking.
The walnuts are always stuck in the wall. I mean, that one up.
Got my pecans, and you want about 50 grams, and I'm just guessing 50 grams. So I'm just going to roughly chop them up.
They are fattening. I mean, pecans do have fat. They have fat in the pecans because they're actually a type of meat. They're good, but they are meat.
They are meat?
pecans. So
How are they meat?
I
Have
didn't
you-
know that until I was starting to eat a whole bunch of those, and my doctor said, "Will, you know what you're eating? Very fattening pecans." Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, so it's a bit like he's sort of, comparing it to if you ate steak or something.
He told me to stick with almonds because
Yeah.
they're different than pecans. It's like I thought they were same, because I'm always a nut. So
I do lots of almonds in keto, heaps, and not a lot of walnuts, more pecans, if anything, but lots of almonds. Almonds are very good for you.
I just can't believe. Speaking of almonds, I can't believe all the almond brothers are gone. Passed away now.
What, the musical Almond Brothers?
Always Greg. I think Greg Allman was the only last member. I believe the keyboard player.
But what
I just
vintage were they? What vintage were they? Were they 60s or 70s?
I think 70s. I was born a rambling man, doing everything the best I can. I hope you understand. I was born a rambling man. Something about I had some place in Georgia. I was on the other side of the road. I was born in the back of a Greyhound bus. I think that was a true story about his life. In the highway in the sky, or I think it's what's this.
I'm just chucking the nuts in as well. What we're doing at the moment is making a topping for the soup, in case anyone's wondering why I'm doing this, because it's not a very soupy thing. But I'm about to start making the soup. I just wanted to get this on the go, because basically you want the bacon to get really dark and crunchy, as well as the cauliflower and the nuts. But that mix is going to be sprinkled on top of the soup.
Ooh. What I love about bacon grease actually is it really good flavor to the anything that you make, pretty much.
Oh, it does.
It's not healthy, but it's good.
Well, according to keto, bacon is life. So I've got 200 and I can't remember how much. Sorry, no, 500 and something mils of. Hang on. I can't read the side of my jug. I've got stock anyway. 650 mils of stock. This is the stock that I made after I roasted the chicken back at Easter. Still got another cup of it left. So I'm just going to heat that up. But if you don't have homemade stock, there are some really good homemade ones you can buy. And there's also some really good stock cubes now as well, if you really have to.
It's at the stock market. I've made that one up again.
The stock market.
These jokes are really weird I'm making up tonight. Sorry about that.
Oh, Glenn in Facebook land, he's saying that his keto rolls were the same, that he's got the same mask. He's on the CPAP machine as well, Will, and he's making the cauliflower soup as well. You should come over, Glenn. Come over and chat, because he's on the same. He uses the same CPAP machine as you will.
I sleep like a baby with it. Once I put that thing on, I am out like a pocket.
Then it's good, isn't it? Even though, are they uncomfortable?
Yes, in a way, actually, they are. Just that what I do is I put one of these. Actually, what I do is I cut a rag and I put this kind of like on the edge part of the part, like in between. I'll have a little secret.
What's a little? That looks like a little condom. Bring back the little secret, Will. What was it?
Exactly.
It really is a condom.
No, it's kind of like a. I love you, Tori. You're awesome. You rock. So it actually I kind of have it like so it doesn't cut into my ear. The cord. I got a big head. But it works.
I've got a large head too. I can't wear. There's a lot of hats and things like that get way too tight on my giant head.
I love your beanie. Is so precious. I was wondering who sells the beanies. I have to order a beanie sometime.
Oh,
Grab
the
them for
beanie
you.
you should get is a quirky beanie. The one I had on yesterday is the one I've had for a few years, but the little blue one, the new blue one I've got with the white pom-pom, that's a Tasmanian girl, and they're called quirky, but it's quirky with a K. I'll send you the link.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
but I
I would
said
like. I'm
mine's a
sorry.
medium, and I said to her, should I get a medium or a large because I've got a really large head? And she said, no, they're actually oversized, and it sits so it's not going to fall off, but it doesn't strangle my brain. So I reckon you'd be able to wear a large, and she does the best colors and stuff. They're gorgeous beanies.
I love those. I always love. I got a trivia question. Which I want to say what's wrong. I can't even talk. Oh boy, my goodness gracious, Julia Child needs some water again. Okay.
Oh shit,
I'll
Julie.
take. Wait a minute. I like to drink some wine. Remember, I drink wine on my show all the time. She does wine. Remember?
Well, I don't. Well, I mean, I do from the movie, but the little clips of her that I saw, and I did. After I watched the movie, it made me have a look at her on YouTube, some old shows.
The movie was emotional. I mean, it was like it made you cry because the girl wrote a story about her,
Yeah.
and she never got to really meet her in real life. And it was like, what was her name? Who played Julia? I love her. I love her. She was on Mamma Mia.
Was she in Mamma Mia?
She was the lead singer on Mamma Mia. Here we go again, my. I did not forget. She's a professional singer too.
I thought the girl was. I thought it was Julie Powell. Amy Adams played Julie Powell, but she's not in Mamma Mia.
Oh no, it was. What's her name? I think she's like in her late 60s or probably 70s.
Oh, I'm sorry, Meryl Streep. Yes, and she is in Mamma Mia. Sorry.
She plays Julia Childs.
Glenn, you need to come over to YouTube. So hang on a second, mate. I'm getting Glenn so you can come and chat to you about CPAPs as well. Here's the link, and then when you come over there, I'll flick you the StreamYard link. Actually, I can hang on. I can send him the StreamYard link in Facebook land, and he can just come from there. He doesn't have to come from YouTube.
I'm going to set the funny really quick. I'm going to put my CPAP mask on this for the heck of it.
Okay.
Ground control to Major Tom. Oh, sir.
Alrighty.
I might get claustrophobic.
Okay, Glenn, I've sent you the StreamYard link in your messenger, or you can come over to YouTube and I'll drop it again in there, whatever works for you. How's everyone doing in chat? We've got
Oh, grab your father.
Hold on, it's all happening over here. So I'm just putting the remaining cauliflower into the stock.
Sorry about that. Oh man.
Chat about the cooking as well. I'm just saying, I've just added the cauliflower to the stock because it's boiling. But you've got to put it back on when Glenn comes up.
Oh yes.
All right, so we've now got the collie in the stock, and we want them to be soft. And then when they're soft, we're going to add to the actual soup. We're adding cream cheese, mustard, and butter.
I like my butter. You say butter again? I have to eat some sticks of butter pretty soon.
How good does that sound? I'm putting cream cheese. This is well, they don't call it a diet. They call it a way of life or a way of eating. But
ooh, my hair.
Cream cheese, butter. Thank you very much, and some Dijon mustard. It's going to be so tasty.
Honey. I can't even talk tonight. What in the world? You know what I sound like? It's all, folks.
Just seeing how much we need. 125 grams of cream cheese, so I might as well measure that out while the cauliflowers are cooking.
I look like Dennis the Menace right now. There we go.
You need to go live on your own channel. You can you do some great impersonations. And Deb's asking, how do I test my keto? I got I don't want to talk about this while I'm cooking and talking about food, but it's I use pea sticks. But we'll talk about that offline. I think we can leave pea stick chat to offline, Deb. I just bought pea sticks at Discount Chemist Whorehouse. We've got a chemist here, Will, that's called Discount Chemist Warehouse, but I call it Discount Chemist Whorehouse.
Oh, rock on. You know, that was a good movie, The Best Little Whorehouse Ever, with I had Burt Reynolds in Texas. The movie.
It's a cool movie. I love The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
I can't believe it was based on a real happening. It had Dolly Parton, Burt Reynolds.
It did. It did. It was a great movie.
I laughed so hard I could not even breathe. It's a true story.
Well, that shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, there's whorehouses all over the world. You can get blood testing. I know you can, Deb. I just I only started it right before we all went into ISO, and I did a mad dash into Discount Chemist Whorehouse, and that was all they had. But I could do the pin prick as well. Be probably going to be easier actually now that we're chatting about it.
Oh, I was going to let you know. I wonder how the rolls are doing in the oven.
I'll give you an update. They've risen a little bit. They're unusual shapes, and they are getting browner.
I remember one time I was cooking some rolls, and I said, "Oh no, what is burning?"
They've still got about 20 minutes to go.
I made a homemade thin crust pizza one time by hand, a pineapple. I used barbecue sauce. Well, it didn't turn out very good. I burnt that poor thing.
Oh no! Did you see me the other night making the keto pizzas? I can't remember if you were with us or not.
I was. I think I was. No, I wasn't. You were making the casserole.
Oh yes. Well, I made on the weekend. I made keto pizza, and the base of it is just heaps. Oh, hang on, we've got Glenn backstage. I just washed my hand. And the pizza base is basically a heap of cheese. Here comes Glenn. How you doing, Groover? Glenn,
hey,
Will meet Glenn, and look, Will's putting his CPAP on for you, mate.
Hi, Will.
I'm claustrophobic. Luke, I'm your father.
I know all about it.
Oh, woo.
Mine's slightly different.
I have to hook up the
slightly different design, but yeah, it's a full face mask.
It's not fun, but I got to tell you, I sleep like a baby at night.
Yeah, me too. I've only had a couple of nights where I've struggled, and then when I wake up, because I had like 93 episodes in an hour, which means that I stopped breathing 93 times in an hour.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Let's interrupt you for 1 sec.
I have no idea.
Sorry to interrupt, Groovers. We're just answering questions in chat. No, Angela, it's cream cheese. It's Philadelphia cream cheese, not butter.
Oh, that's the best in the world.
Yeah.
Not healthy, but extremely good.
Lady said, "G'day, Glenn."
Glenn, it's so good to see you. Sorry, I'm laying down on my side. I gotta tell you, I always have. I wish I had a table or something, but I don't have any way to put my tablet anywhere else. But thank goodness for Mattress Firm.
As long as you're comfy, mate. As long as you're comfy. Now, Glenn, your rolls, you reckon mine are going to be fine? Because they felt when I couldn't get them anything like Play-Doh, and you probably heard or saw me putting heaps of oil in, olive oil, adding that, but they felt so rubbery.
Yeah, mine did too. And look, it freaked me out a bit because I think I mentioned the last episode. My dad was a baker, master baker. That's what they call him.
Yes.
And he feeling that dough felt really weird because it's nothing like bread dough, really.
No, but was yours really? Did it feel rubbery? Do you know what I mean? Like when I was shaping them, they just felt like solid blobs.
Well, the recipe's kind of weird because you're adding hot water into the mix with egg whites, so it kind of cooks it a bit.
It has got the potential to get a bit eggy, I reckon.
There is a fair amount of baking powder, which is the raising agent as opposed to yeast. So I really enjoyed them. For the fact that I love bread, and in keto you can't have it. It was a really, really lovely substitute. So yeah.
I made cauliflower pizza one time. It was so good.
Oh, yum. Was it really thinly cut, and was the cauliflower like really thinly sliced and put on the pizza?
I used a NutriBullet, one of those NutriBullets to it was like within seconds. That cauliflower was like a mush. We don't want too mushy, but I gotta quit that mushy talk, everyone. I'm Julia Childs. Sorry about that.
So, Glenn, where are you up to with your soup? What are you up to? Oh, he's over in the other thing.
Sorry, my volume. I've got my volume right up, but with the fan and everything, I've got to get.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hey, where are you up to in your soup?
Well, I opted for the walnuts because I couldn't get pecans, so I've got that going, and I did manage to score pancetta, which I thought was pretty good for the small supermarket downstairs. And I've got the collie in with. I've used just packet chicken stock, but I didn't quite have the litre, so I've just added a little bit of vegetable stock made from a powder.
Right, so you're making, because I'm only making it for 4 people. You must be
No,
making.
I'm doing the full recipe.
6 or 8 or whatever.
Yeah, my partner loves soup, so look, I might have a bowl of it, but he'll polish the rest of it.
Your partner's the best for eating everything that you're making. It's great. I'm just still waiting for the topping. I think I'm going to actually take it off because it'll keep cooking in the Le Creuset because they hold their heat so well. But I'm just going to show everyone
that's mine
mix that I've made. So this is hang on, I'll get the heat.
It smells so good. I can smell it from here. It really does smell good. I can smell the vision.
Bit of smell everything. So that's the bacon, cauliflower, butter, and nuts.
Oh, that's groovy.
Go on top of the soup. So you leave that, and these pans that I'm using, the Le Creuset ones, they hold their heat for a long time. So I'm taking it off. It's getting pretty crunchy, but it'll keep cooking in that pan for quite a while because it's still quite hot.
You've got bacon, Tori, or did you get pancetta?
I've gone bacon, but I've gone the really beautiful box bacon, the streaky bacon.
Yes.
I'll show you.
Usually the more expensive, the best.
Glenn?
Oh, yeah.
You'd remember this bacon, wouldn't you, from Tassie?
Yes, I do. Oh, God.
That's what I'm using. I could have bought pancetta, but I already had that. So I was like, I might as well use what I've got, right?
Mm. I thought the recipe said prosciutto, but when I got down and I looked at it, I thought, how on earth could you dice that? I mean, you put that in the pan, it would just crisp immediately. So, and I looked down a bit further, and then all of a sudden there was this little packet of prosciutto, which I don't cook with a lot.
Prosciutto or pancetta?
pancetta.
Yeah.
Quite not a lot, but occasionally I'll get a bit of prosciutto to put on pizza or something like that.
I'm just going to start to add. We've got 10 minutes for the bread. I'm just going to add the Philadelphia cream cheese. The recipe links are under this video description if anyone's keen. But we're putting 125 grams of cream cheese into the soup. Let that melt.
So you put all of that in before you blitz it with the
Yep. We're gonna. It says 2/3 of a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and I'm like, no, we're going the full tablespoon for me.
Oh, definitely. Oh yes, the more butter, the better taste it's gonna be.
I forgot. I should have introduced you as Julia Childs to Glenn.
Bon appetit, Glenn. Bon appetit. I can't say you're handsome, but I'm a guy. I mean, Julia will say you're handsome. Julia will say that. Sorry.
And now, Angela, we are adding some butter because you can never have too much butter.
It's crazy that this diet can have this amount of dairy product, butter, cream.
Fats, I know, and the weight just comes off. It's incredible.
Oh my God! Now you really do. And now I can see the Duck River butter, and it's like the only place you can get that is in Tasmania. I know.
Yeah.
It's the best butter, isn't it?
It is.
That's pure butter out there.
And we need about 75 grams, which is about that much.
Get some more butter in there. Get more butter.
You could measure it if you want to, but the easiest way to remember anything with grams in smallish quantities like 75 is that a matchbox is 30 grams. So 2 matchboxes and a little bit more of a matchbox, and you've got your 75. I'm just going to turn this pot down. It's like boiling like crazy still.
It's steaming.
It's steaming.
Can you believe it? The child loves butter. I mean, she was a butter.
Mustard. What's your favorite mustard, Will? See, I love Dijon.
I love Dijon as well. In salad, things on steak, anything.
But any Dijon, just buy French. Don't mess around with anything else, so that they make the best Dijon. This jar is huge and probably $6-7, and it lasts forever. But always get the French Dijons.
My French Dijon is Colaise.
Mine's Moutarde. Moutarde, Le Dijon.
Yeah, mine's Coles.
I tried something called Grey Poupon, the mustard one time. It was so spicy. It was like, oh, man.
Did you just say your mustard was Colaise and I completely missed that joke? Really?
Excuse me, I'm just heading off to the computer to get the recipe because you're doing different.
Oh, different ratios.
Yeah.
It's only, do you know what the only difference is the amount of liquid. Everything else was the same, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, honestly, when you cook, like when bacon fat, when you pan fry the bacon, it always evaporates pretty much. I mean, it'll absorb through anything you cook.
This bacon and the cauliflower and the nuts got cooked in butter as well, but I did cut the rinds off.
It's funny that some vegetables, I never knew this, but some stems of vegetables are poisonous. Like, what in the world? I don't remember which ones they are, but I never knew rhubarb. The leaves of rhubarb.
This is boiling like crazy, just waiting for the Philadelphia cream cheese to melt.
And I remember you just put that on the stove too, and it's already started really boiling. Yeah.
There's not a lot of liquid, that's why, because it's only making 4 portions. So I didn't have a liter of liquid. I had 650 mils.
I'm gonna have to get me a stove like that. I got an old gas stove. That gas stove gets so hot. There's no way to turn the heat down. Set heat.
Oh, I love cooking with gas. I'm kind of jealous that you've got gas, but if you can't adjust the heat, that's a bit of a bummer.
The good thing is that when it's cold weather outside and have no electricity, it works.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's good. Yeah, because if we have a blackout, we're screwed.
Oh, I hate that. I like to have candles though, but I've been lighting candles. I have actually every night. I always have not tonight, but last night I had a moment of silence for like 2 hours. I lit a candle for everyone.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's Memorial Day, wasn't it?
it was, and also for everything going around right now, the epidemic and everything, for all the families.
Oh,
I just love I love everyone, and
you do, Will. That's why we love you.
thank you so much. And I was born, to respect, because when you're nice to someone, you get more honey to calm the honey. How's that go again? That phrase? You get more honey from the hive, or my papa told me that phrase. I can't remember.
Well, no, Lady Pegasus. I know there's an expression about the
honey and vinegar, isn't it? That you get something better with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yes.
Vinegar being,
If you're
nasty.
nicer to someone, if
I
you're
feel
mean
like
to someone,
the smaller the flower, the sweeter the honey. I'm just going to make some noise pollution on this tender moment that we're having. I hate to do this, but I'm just using my little this thing just to blend up the soup. I apologise.
That's so weird. Oh.
According to the recipe, they call this an immersion blender.
According to my knowledge, I call it a bar mix.
What was that, Glenn?
A bar mix. I remember Mum buying one.
Oh, yes, they were all the way.
And she still has it, and it still works perfect. It's a brilliant piece of
they were incredible. I don't know what happened to my mum's. I'm just putting some salt and pepper in, guys.
Hey, Glenn, I have my papa's old Oster blender, the old ones, like the malt shop ones. And that thing weighs like 50 pounds.
Oh, my God.
And it was from my papa's store. My mom had owned a store.
So much easier. It's so light, and it just clicks on the end of it. And
oh, yes.
Way to go.
I wonder if that mixer was even still worked today. Poor thing, been in rain, and it has a woven cord, like woven with you don't see woven cords anymore. I'll be scared to plug it in.
Oh yes, the woven fabric. Yeah, I remember my nan having an iron, like a clothes iron with a cord like that. But yeah,
fire hazards.
I don't know. Maybe it's a fire hazard, but then plastic would be the same, wouldn't it?
My doorstop is one of the old irons that they used to have to warm up actually on the fire to iron the clothes with.
Oh,
yeah,
true story. I'll get it.
I'm not going back to the olden days doing that. That sounds like a lot of hard work.
My pawpaw's side, actually, his mother was from France, and he had one of those old bed warmers.
The bed pan.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Like heating that up, it weighs, it's heavy as, it's a number 7, whatever that means. But imagine heating that up and then ironing your clothes with it.
That's the denim.
I'm quite happy to be
all you had back then. That's all you had. Oh,
right, so my soup is done. The topping's done. Now, Glenn.
Yeah.
How did you know when your rolls were? Did you pull one out and tap the bum and it made a hollow sound?
No. Have you got a fan forced oven?
Yeah.
And yeah, the fan frost oven I had, it tickled it along a little bit quicker than I expected. And I thought, look, if it looks nice and like dark on top, yeah, right.
They look shocking.
Those look so tasty.
Hey, it doesn't matter. When you split them open and put a bit of butter on them, they're going to taste fabulous. But yeah,
I love my butter.
Tori, I'd give them just a little tap because they look a little light to me.
A little right.
They look a little bit light. So
Right.
just tap them. If they sound hollow, they're cooked.
Well, how do you know? That's what I read in the recipe, and I'm like, I've never heard of this before. Have a listen. Does this sound hollow?
Yeah, they do.
That sounds about hollow, yes.
Okay.
I think they're ready.
And start eating while we keep chatting.
I tell you the good thing about oil. The oil also helps them cook faster too. Olive oil cooks quicker.
So here's the soup. Going in.
Sweet.
That'll do me.
I'm so proud of you, Tori. I wish you the very, very best.
Oh, thanks, Will. Are you leaving or are you just being lovely?
Oh no, I'm still here. I just want to. I also wish you the very best too, Glenn. All of us, we're gonna work together.
Oh, thank you so much. And really lovely to meet you as well.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, always. Julia Childs is always loves her butter. I love Julia Childs. I just something about her. You know, she was 7 foot tall.
Yeah, she was incredibly tall.
Yes, but I remember.
I watched that movie where Meryl Streep played her, and it was this kind of split between. Oh my God! Look at that.
That is beautiful, Tori. Amazing.
Hey.
Tori, you got to take a picture of that. Take a picture.
Well, nah, it's all right. I can get a screenshot from the video. I used to take photos all the time, and this guy, we went out to dinner one night. He wasn't my boyfriend. He was a friend of ours, and he's like, "No, you're another one of those fuckwits who takes photos at dinner." I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a foodie website."
Well, I always have a habit doing that at like eating places or when I cook. I'm sorry about that. I always if I make something, this is always a habit. I'm sorry about that. It's so beautiful. At least you're a professional cook. I mean, that's how I feel about you. Amazing.
Me?
Yes.
Nah, I'm just a home cook, mate. But I'm just gonna cut one of these rolls in half and put some butter on it and give you the verdict. I need a butter knife.
They are better fresh from the oven. I have had them cold. They're not quite as fine, but
I'll be toasting these for sure.
yeah, I think that they need heat in any instance, straight out of the oven or toasting.
Straight out of the oven and drizzled in butter. Duck River.
The
dietdoctor's site had things like garlic bread and croutons for Caesar salad and stuff like that. It was all that same bread recipe. So you can make bread rolls, or you can make long bread rolls, split them in half, cover them in garlic butter, pop them back in the oven, cut them up into small pieces. Look at that guy! And does it look bread-like in the middle, Tori?
Yeah, it did before I.
Beautiful.
They're good to go. They're good to go.
Yeah.
Lady Pegasus has exactly the same oven. All right, I'm going to try the bread. Hang on, I'll adjust the camera a bit.
Hey,
hello. It's so weird to me cooking without my head visible, but someone said we want to see the bench and
your hair looks very beautiful, Tori. Yes.
Pardon?
Your hair looks very beautiful. I promise.
I've got a headband on too because I had a headband on this morning and it left a mark, like a dent across the front, so I had to put it back on too.
My hair is so gray, ridiculous. I need a haircut.
You had
my
not
God.
hairband hair.
Pretty good.
It's
I
soup.
also
Oh
had
my
hat
God. Guys, the soup.
What is it?
Wait.
Oh,
The soup. The soup is so tasty. It's unbelievable. It's
Oh,
amazing.
really? Oh, thank God. I was really concerned
Okay.
about not cauliflower.
I had no doubt about the soup being good because everything I've made from that website's been amazing. But let's see what the bread's like, all right?
All right.
I heard a little crunch. I like that. I like that sound of crunch right there.
They're really good.
They're not bad, are they?
No, I mean, it tastes like keto.
Rock.
But yeah, I definitely think toasted and warmed up with butter on it's a way to have them. I think being cold, they'd be quite rubbery and not rubbery.
No, they weren't. It just the flavour was the flavour of the almond and the psyllium husk kind of came through a bit too strong. When they're warm, the butter, because you put butter on them, but warm butter or butter that's melted tastes much richer than cold butter, I think. Because when I get butter in my mouth and it melts, that's when you get the flavour.
Yeah, right.
It's just
You
like,
know what sounds really good? Coffee. Put the bread in dip the bread in coffee.
I'm getting
That'd
so
be
hot though. I'm hot sitting next to the hot stove. I might just overhead. Yeah, it's really yummy, and it'd be beautiful dipped in the soup as well.
well
Do you
done.
know
This
Elvis?
soup
Elvis
is so
morning.
good. I'm waiting for Glenn to finish his soup so he can do a taste test as well because it's so yummy.
I got a surprise, but do you know Elvis? I'm sorry.
Did you put the paprika in the topping?
No, I forgot.
So did I, but I bought it. Now I'm just wondering whether it needs the heat for it to.
No, because I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on top.
And see how that goes.
But
I bought it.
it's not. It doesn't need the heat because it's really tasty. Because you know what's standing out for me is the Dijon mustard. It's so yummy. It's so yummy. It tastes like Dijon mustard soup. And then you've got these crunchy. Well, I've got crunchy bits of bacon, the crunchy nuts, the slightly brown butter, the little crispy bits of cauliflower coming, like they're really nice in the topping as well. I completely forgot about the paprika. It doesn't need it though, but I've just sprinkled a bit on top.
Okay.
But it's really delicious. Like, yeah, it's creamy. The cream cheese is the bomb as well. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's
very thick, right?
200 grams in the 6-serve recipe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. Actually, when I was growing up, I used to go to McDonald's and I used to get like 5 or 6 cheeseburgers. You know what? I don't miss that anymore. I'm a new person now. I was like, wow, why did I do that? Because I was bored. I was bored.
I must admit, look, honestly, every so often, not a lot, but every so often, I hit McDonald's because Tori would know. We never grew up with McDonald's. It was this kind of thing that appeared in the 80s, wasn't it? Unless you
no, it was
85.
No, it was 1996. Tasmania got its first McDonald's.
First, yes. So if you wanted McDonald's, you had to like fly over to Melbourne or Sydney or one of the other big capital cities where you had it. So it still is a bit of a treat for me, and it never was a thing that I grew up with as a kid. Yeah. Mind you, my dad always on a Friday night, because he was he owned a business and he's working all the rest of it. Friday night was always to the local takeaway, and it'd be burgers or fish and chips or something simple that Mum didn't have to cook because she was working with Dad and still cooking for my brother and I and and doing, chops and 3 veg and all of that, good hearty food, or at least, the way that she was brought up, that kind of like meat and 3 veg set up, which but Friday night was our treat, so we only got that once a week.
I remember great excitement when Pizza Hut opened here, and also the first KFC in Sandy Bay.
Oh yeah,
I still remember that shop, and it's still there. I don't know what it is now, but that was like, honestly, the KFC was like a huge treat. We had like
massive. Deb's asking me in chat if I'm wearing overalls. No, it's a little pinafore. Hang on. I'll model it.
I remember KFC. KFC today is not like it used to be. It's different, flavors to me.
I know it does. I gravitate towards it, and I have it, and I go.
You don't even care.
I'm not satisfied. It doesn't. It hasn't done the thing.
See, I miss the 80s.
I just modeled my little pinafore, and you didn't even notice. You were talking Macca's.
KFC.
KFC.
It was awesome. I still remember
out of the periphery.
I feel like I look like
and yeah, it's a lovely dress.
I should be hosting a children's television show or something. I mean, it's quite short. It's cute, but I don't think it's sexy, Deb. Deb wants one. She thinks it's sexy. Oh. It's comfy, though, and I wear aprons.
Yeah.
I wear aprons a lot when I cook.
Sexy and child television program presenter. It's probably not the best thing to be combined.
I know, but I've got knee-high lace-up boots on. Can you see that?
That's so beautiful.
That's.
So I've made.
Tori, you're right.
It's cute though. It's red corduroy. I love corduroy, and it's red corduroy. It's very comfy, but I wear aprons a lot when I cook, and I just thought, just get a little pinafore dress, and if you get mess on it, just chuck it in the wash. Like, wear it instead of wearing an apron.
I gotta tell you, Tori, you look extremely groovy. Always.
I used to have a pair of beige corduroy overalls back in the 80s.
I've got
I brought the memory of a Pawpaw's.
Has that got corduroy on it too?
It was velvet. It's velvet actually. A Pawpaw's shirt.
Is it velvet? Oh.
And this is my Pawpaw's handkerchief. He would bring to church every Sunday morning. I'm gonna say, yeah, he blew his nose on it, but
but it's been washed, but it's bright and cheery like his grandson, like you, Will. And that's a very bright, colourful man.
What I loved about my pawpaw, he taught me how to fix small engines like motors of lawnmowers and, use double D40. But they changed double D40 liquid ingredients now.
Really?
And, yeah, it's horrible. It does not work. You used to spray that stuff in engines to start them.
It would fix everything. I've still got a can, but the can I've got is the old recipe. I think Australia's still got old stock.
See, I like the old recipe because it's the darker, it's the oil. But now, do y'all hear the thunder outside?
I did hear something just then, like a clap.
That was thunder. It's the scary thing good thing about tornadoes is if you're like in the lower area, they'll go around you. But they have to be on flat surface actually to be able to. So tornadoes are like trains for real. I used to be a storm chaser.
I know would have been. I remember you talked about it a few times. That would have been the coolest thing to do.
It was hard work though. I mean, I remember having to pick up the hail, take a picture of it, and send it back to the weather station. Andy Anderson, their weather guy, is my ham radio buddy that gave me my ham radio test. Um,
What was the biggest piece of hail that you ever had to lift up?
baseball size.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, that was freaky.
Mm.
So I had a license actually to be able to. I used to drive. I used to drive a long time ago, and I used to drive about close to 100 miles per hour. I had a license to be in a. I had a magnet up and on the side of my vehicle, and it had my call sign on it, Storm Chaser. And I had these special lights, like little bitty lights, up in front of. I had installed them with the lights of the car. Those lights themselves cost like $600 a piece.
Wow.
They're strobe lights that blink really fast, but I had to get permission from, of course, from the law enforcement too, because cops go that fast, so they know who I am because I had to chase the storm, and I had a Doppler radar on a laptop computer that actually was wireless, so I would stop at one area and monitor the whole screen and send the feedback to every other ham radio guy out there, and say, well, we got about a mile from here. We got a cell cloud that just touched down. I mean, pretty much everything.
But they're so unpredictable, Will. Like, I don't know, when I lived in Missouri, when we had the tornado warnings, I got a bit interested in them because we didn't have anything like that here growing up. And I watched all this footage of actual tornadoes, and what freaked me out with the storm chasers was how quickly they could change direction.
Oh, yeah. Even a tornado can spin right back around and come right back the opposite direction. I mean, the weather carries it, the wind. Someone says, can a storm retrace its steps back? Yes, it can. So it's actually hot and cold air mixture that makes the tornado. So the hot and cold air right now here in Texas is really bad. So it's pretty much mixing with the atmosphere up in the sky. So that causes a cell cloud to form, and you never know when it's going. Ooh, wow, that just hit outside. But see, I'm used to it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
So, Will, when is the tornado season in your part of the woods?
It's right now.
Right now. Okay,
Wow.
so spring, summer.
Yeah.
But the good thing about tornadoes is actually they have to be on level ground, to be able to tear up property. But I'm down below, so I get more of the wind pickup, picking up trees.
So if you're in a mountain area, then you don't get tornadoes. It's the real flat areas.
You've got to have a plane for it to grow.
I guess that's why we never get them in Tasmania, because we didn't find a flat area that big.
Yes. And also lightning and thunder, they're the same thing. Actually, they come from the ground up. So everyone says lightning comes from the sky. No. It reflects off the clouds from static electricity forming, and it irritates the light. The ground right below my bed right now, there's lightning forming at this moment.
Oh, really? Wow.
I can feel it. I can feel it right now in my foot. The static feeling. I'm not lying to you.
Well, can I ask how you know Tori? I know you probably said this a million times online or whatever, but I'm just interested how the two of you met.
I know Sweet Tori from Mel.
Yeah. So another you would have met Mel, I think, Glenn. She pops in. She came up on live with me last weekend when I was cooking, when you were entertaining guests. But she's another Aussie YouTuber, and I was in chat and met Will there. And the next thing, Will was a subscriber, and he started coming on my walks with me and jumping up on panel. And we've been buddies for a few months now.
Oh, okay. So have you met in person?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, wow.
He's a YouTube buddy.
The magic of social media.
I don't have anything on.
The whole
right now. I'm so
world is
busy.
crazy, Glenn. Like, there's people that go live that I follow, all over the world, and you get to know them. And some people, start chatting. Like Will and I we became mates on Facebook and started chatting offline as well. But it's an incredible way to meet interesting people, because usually you meet because you're in a channel that's talking about something that you're both interested in, or
absolutely,
someone you enjoy watching.
Anything.
So I was just going to say, I managed to eat about 3/4 of that bowl, and I'd started eating the second half of the bread. But honestly, half of one of those rolls and 3/4 of that bowl that I showed is very filling for me.
Oh, yeah?
That was all I needed to feel full. So good. I can't wait for you to taste it.
I'm double dipping here because I'm doing a keto pizza, but my pizza base is a cauliflower base that I've bought. Well, I didn't buy, my partner did, because I was making too much like dough bread to make pizza.
So is it already, hey Serenity Bee, is it already, like, is it in a packet? Can you show it to us, or is it cooking? I'll try and put you up so that you're big. Oh no, I'm big, sorry. I want to see what it is.
Oh, bon appetit. Oh my goodness gracious.
I can't make from the start. That was from putting it back on that. That was hilarious.
Julia, come on.
I got blinded.
Hang on. There.
Whoa.
You can turn your camera off, Will. Hang on, I'll go back to us being far, far away. There we go.
So far away.
Hi, Rustic Mockery. Now, Rustic Mockery is also a connection to this Mel we were just chatting about, Glenn. So Will and I, the channel that we met on, that's also where I met Rustic. Oh, Mel's arrived.
Mel.
She's got Soup on, and she's also got her grandson Arlo. Oh, show me a pizza. Bring it back.
Oh, that pizza looks so good.
I haven't finished yet.
So what did you do with your base?
Look, I have done the keto base with the mozzarella and the cream cheese and the almond meal and a little bit of Italian herbs.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't bad. And it was so easy compared to making like a yeast-based dough.
Oh, God, yeah. But the one I made on the weekend,
you make it, you roll it, boom, straight in the oven.
The one that I made on the weekend, though, Glenn, is even easier, and it's so good. Just give me a sec. I'm just Googling it. It was cheese, like a shitload of cheese.
Yeah.
And you line the baking tray. And then you mix. What did I mix? Give me a sec. I just want to make sure I tell you what it is. It's so easy. Easier than the one that you're talking about. 4 eggs, 175 grams of shredded cheese. That's it. And you mix it up and put it on the baking tray.
Yeah.
And it's basically this crunchy cheese base. So you cook that first. And then when you bring it out of the oven, then you can put your passata. I did a smoked salmon, red onion, capers, and sour cream, and then I put a massive blob of rocket on the top of it, and it was so good.
That sounds really nice.
It was really easy.
Tori and Glenn, I'm gonna have to go outside. I gotta get my trash can pulled up, but before it starts to really downpour. But
stay safe, Will. I can't. And it's 3 a.m. and you're bringing your bin in.
I have to. I'm gonna do the special ending that Julia Child's always do. Until next time, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to PBS Television. Bye.
Do it again. One more time, Will, and then you can go.
Next time, everyone, it's your host, Julia Childs. Please tune in next week to PBS Television. Bon appetit. I love y'all.
I love you, Will. Love you, Will. See you, mate.
Have a good night, Glenn. Bye-bye. Good
night.
See you, Will.
Bon appetit.
He's Isn't he a hoot? He's such a hoot.
He actually has a lot of the issues that I have. CPAP
Yeah,
machine.
that's why I'm glad. Sorry. That's why I was glad that you jumped on, because I thought you two could have a bit of a chat, because it was bizarre, and and he's such a lovely guy. He's a vet technician, and he's just got the biggest heart. And like I've got to take Biscuit to the VET tomorrow, and don't get me wrong, the technicians down here are superb too, but imagine taking to your sick pet to a vet and there's Will greeting you when you get there. It'd make you feel better, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I got to take my puppy in for surgery at one point. He's got to have his nares and his hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
here.
His nares and his soft palate widened, because that's a common thing for Frenchies.
Aww.
And I'm really concerned about it. We do have pet insurance, and I'm waiting for the pre-authorization so that we know how much we're up for, basically. But
Right.
I'm not looking forward to it at all. It's not pleasant. He's such a good boy.
It's so stressful though, and I just Biscuit's out in her little enclosure. That's why I've put the camera off, because I'm just going to go and try and lure her back inside with some food, because she sits out there and gets really cold, and part of her issue is she's got constant sneezing and sniffling going on.
Oh, that's not good. I'm just going to show you my puppy, because...
Oh, cool. Will you do that while I try and lure, because I've got to actually bribe her back inside with some food. Oh, no, I can't go till I meet your puppy. Is it French bulldog, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Oh. And it's
Hello,
Poppy.
baby. He's looking at you.
Hi, Poppy.
What's going on? He was sort of semi-asleep, but...
So his name is Poppy?
Yundi.
Oh, Yundi.
Yeah.
Cute.
His pedigree name is... He doesn't want to be up here. His pedigree name was Yondu. And the breeder just said...
Yondu.
Yeah, I know. The breeder just said, look, you're the one that's got to scream his name out at the dog park, so you name him whatever you want. Bob.
I guess friends of mine, when they got one of their little Cavalier Spaniels years ago, they were going to name her. He wanted to name her after a character, I think, in Lord of the Rings called Erwin. And then they were like, yeah, but what if we're down at the park and we're screaming out, Erwin, Erwin?
Yeah, no, it doesn't work for me. Well, I could work for them, but not for me. I like to keep a little bit of, because the breeder was such a lovely person. I didn't want to throw his name completely out the window and, call him, Frank or Buster or whatever. So I thought Yundi was a good person.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. Can you just entertain the masses? Because it might take me a second to get Becky to come back in, because she's...
Here I am drinking champagne. Grab your glass. Enjoy the isolation. We're still doing that in New South Wales. Tassie's a lot less restricted, I think. I'm hoping, because they're coming hopefully towards the end of it. And good news from Darwin, the Northern Territory are really rolling it back, and they look and sound as if they're starting to get back to normal. So, us big populations, Sydney and Melbourne are the hard ones to deal with, in Western Australia. Actually, I think South Australia are pretty good as well. So let's all fingers crossed and hope that this is all the back end of it, shall we say.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you keep hearing about the second wave and all the rest. She's come in and she hasn't had any food, which is...
Oh.
Here, look. Biscuit, here. Just some fish. There you go. She came in, all I had to do was actually pick up the packet, and she heard that and came inside all by herself. But then you can't not give them. I only gave her a little half of the packet.
My puppy is not food orientated at all.
Well, she was 12 kilos at her heaviest. When she was surrendered the last time, she was 12 kilos, and they couldn't adopt her out because a cat of that size, has the potential for so many health issues, and she still does. But they got her down to just under 9 kilos, and then they put her up for adoption because she was on a really strict diet. So I had to sort of sign an agreement to keep her on the same diet, and she's now down to 6 kilos.
Oh, wow. Yes, I knew she was on a stricter regime. But, look, every animal, whether they're cats or dogs, their personality is different. Some of them are and can be extraordinarily food orientated. So begging food or wanting food or eating all the time, non-stop. But I'm kind of like lucky. I had when I was walking him, I had a lady come up to me and she said, "Gorgeous," and I go, "Oh, thank you." No, she was talking about my pup, and she said, "I have seen so many of these dogs so big and round, and it's unhealthy." And she said, "Your dog looks very healthy and very, very athletic." And I said, "Yeah, he's what a Frenchie really should be." So when you see these big, and they're cute. Look, honestly, they are cute when they're that size, but all of the health issues that come with it, like Biscuit with her extra weight, it's the same deal.
The thing is, Glenn, one of the reasons I'm taking her to the vet tomorrow is even though she's on a strict diet and she doesn't have a lot of food on it, she's not eating all of it, and that's a sign that they're not feeling great. Because
absolutely,
the person who had her before me, luckily I've met on Facebook the girl that was the carer for Sheila, this elderly woman that had Biscuit, and Lexi tried to assimilate Biscuit into her household, but they already had dogs and another cat, and it just didn't work out, and she was in tears for days when she had to take Biscuit back to the 10 Lives Cat Centre. But she said to me that this lady, the older lady, Sheila, who sounds like an absolute hoot, just every time Biscuit made a noise, she just gave her barbecue chicken. So I don't think Biscuit's like a food aggressive at all. She's quite she's a bit of a grazer, like she sort of just grazes throughout the day. But yeah, her previous owner just gave her barbecue chicken whenever she made a noise. She's not really vocal with me at all.
Killing you with kindness is a word when it comes to animals, because you think it's good for them, and it ends up being not.
Right. But look, we have to send out some good vibes, though, that she's going to be okay. Now, I'm just going over to chat. Can't forget our chat people. Mel might have been boredom eating, possibly. Rustic Mockery had a dream. He had a puppy named Bingo, and he lost him, and he woke himself up early in the morning screaming, "Bingo, Bingo." Oh, the pizza's going in.
Yep.
That's amazing. That looks great. I'm glad that was just a dream. Biscuit and I have that in common. What with the dieting. Poor little thing. You've all got to send out good vibes so Biscuit's okay, because I'm not stressing about, taking her to the vet will be stressful. Getting her into her little CATBOX is going to be stressful. But yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious. But poor little girl.
It's always hard. I was very lucky. Actually, I watched Douglas yesterday or the day before. Hannah Gadsby, and she was talking. Said, "Oh, you want to know why the show's called what it is? It's because of my dog Douglas." And she said, "Yeah, I used to have a lot of dogs when I was young. We lived near highway or a very, very busy road, and everyone chuckles. And it's like, that was my experience as a young kid, because the cat would be pushed down into the garage because Mum wouldn't allow a cat in the house to sleep. And Dad was a baker, and he'd wake up early in the morning, and of course the last thing he was going to do was to check where the cat was. But they were very nice about it. It was just like, oh, gee, I don't know where the cat is. It's like Dad must have done some very interesting subterfuge in terms of putting the carcass somewhere. But yeah, we went through a lot of cats when I was a kid, and then when he retired, we finally got a cat, and well, not when he retired, but when things slowed down for him, we got a cat, and it lasted 16 years, I think.
Yeah, my cat Oliver lived to be 16, but I've got friends that have had cats that have lived to 20.
Moggies are pretty
amazing animals. I mean, she's 9, and hopefully she's okay. We'll just send a message on Facebook that Biscuit's in his prayers tomorrow. Bless him. He's such a sweet guy. And over in chat, Lady Pegasus says her son's cat Oscar swallows his biscuits whole. He's like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
Lady Pegasus also says the pizza looks awesome. What's on the topping? What toppings have you got? And Rustic Mockery says homemade pizza is the best thing ever. It is. I agree. What's on top? What was your toppings, Glenn?
So I've got bacon. I got not the beautiful bacon that you had, but it's not bad. Hickory smoked bacon.
Yum.
A little bit of that, and some hot pepperoni.
Yep.
And some bacon. Some capsicum and some onion.
Nice.
I chuck a bit more on it, but the base is really small, and you pick it up and it just all falls down, and you end up just eating the topping off the plate.
So do you just want to go through the cauliflower base?
I didn't make it.
Oh, it was ready to. When you showed that bag, I thought that was just like a bag of cauliflower. That was the actual bag.
No, you buy them ready-made.
Ah, we don't have fancy stuff like that.
Otherwise, I would have done the mozzarella almond meal and just mix that up. But I with the amount of cheese in the base and cheese on top, it was just a bit too much cheese overload for me.
Well, see, the one I made the other night that had the 4 eggs and the cheese, and that was it as the base. Yeah. And then it had more cheese on top. It wasn't too much cheese because the base is. I mean, it's got 4 eggs. There's quite a lot of egg, and it does have cheese through it. But yeah, it wasn't. I ate the leftovers for 2 days of that pizza. It was delicious, and I didn't. I just reheated it and put, another blob of sour cream and another handful of rocket on top, and it was so yummy. So do try it because I think it'll surprise you. Like it's.
I'll give it a go. I flipped the keto and went hardcore with the red.
Base. You've got to blow out. You can't just blow a tiny bit. But that recipe
I bought a KitchenAid. I had to use it for something.
Have you got the retro-y creamy coloured one?
Yes, the almond.
That's the one I would have got if they hadn't have put out the crystal blue one that I've got. That was the colour I was going for. But
did you get a bonus with your KitchenAid?
I did. I got the food processor attachment.
Well, I got the scales and the sifter, which is really weird. Like, it's not like I really need that, but I did put it on and gave it a go, and it's kind of funky. I like it.
All right, now what's happening in chat? I've got to keep up with them too. Deb's saying, Jinx sounds like a cat by the sounds of it. Will rip an arm off before getting into the pet pack. Mel says, you'll be all right, Fluffy. Us thick girls are tough. Well, that's true. Lady Pegasus, I haven't made homemade pizza for ages. I should make some. I'll put the link in for this recipe into chat because this is the one I made on the weekend. It is under the video where I made it as well, but this is the one that has the base. It is literally 4 eggs and 175 grams of cheese, and you mix it up and bake that first, and then add whatever toppings. You take it out when it's cooked and add, and it's got, you know, when you make those beautiful toasty toasters in your Breville and you get the cheese that spills out and it gets all brown and crunchy and delicious. That's what the crust is like. It's so good, so good.
I'm blitzing my cauliflower soup now.
God's sake, my oldest kid. So I remember I've got something happening with her. Oh, right, you blitz away. Mel, I've got a meat grinder and it's still in the box. There's an attachment down there that I haven't taken out of the box. So it could be the meat grinder too. I'll just go and get it. It is the meat grinder. This didn't come with it. I think I might have picked this up on sale, but yeah, I've got the meat grinder still in the box too, Mel. I've got a little Tupperware meat grinder that I use that's sort of, I think I've tried this once and I didn't do it right, and it just ended up being so messy and such a pain to clean up that I didn't bother using it again. Yeah, it's still sitting in the box. But yeah, I think I picked it up. It was on sale and thought that'd be groovy, but it didn't. But the food processor attachment's awesome. This is the thing I got with mine. Check this thing out. It's amazing. And the way it needs a dust, but the way they go on the, like that, you know, that's the bit on that goes on the nose of the KitchenAid. But it's like a full processor, and it's got about 6 different blades, and so that was the.
Use that. I doubt that I'm going to use this, but that's.
Oh, you've got one too.
No,
the scale. That's the scale and the.
That's the sifter and the scale.
Wow.
It's weird.
Oh, thank you. Serenity B's doing prayers for Bicky tomorrow too. Everything will be okay, I'm sure of it. Rustic Mockery, is the Vitamix any good? Vitamix.
What's the Vitamix?
Is that like a type of blender?
It's not like one of those things that cook and.
Vitamix. Or is it? Do you make juices in it? I don't know. It's ringing a bell. I just can't picture what it is. But see, that's my little Tupperware meat grinder, and I just grind up chicken breasts and stuff or whatever, you know, to make mince, and it's very effective and easy to clean. Whereas the other one, this one that goes on the KitchenAid, I might try it again next time. But I remember the last time I used it, I felt like half of the mince ended up sort of inside this bit, you know, and then I had to kind of remove it all with a skewer, and I just remember it being really messy. But the food processors.
Can you put the whole lot in the dishwasher? Because the sifter, obviously the scales you can't put in, but there's.
I don't know dishwasher. I'm on tank water. I thought about putting a single drawer dishwasher in for a while, but I'm on tank water. I am my dishwasher, and I have some dishes to do.
Yeah, that was one of the conditions of moving to Sydney. Dishwasher. I must sound like a complete tyrant. All these conditions about moving to Sydney, but my partner got a full-time job, but I was pretty much on a full-time job with the performing arts school that I was working with. But I managed to keep my compliance management job because I can do that from long distance at home. It's just maybe occasionally, once or twice a year, I have to go to Canberra. But Yeah, I had certain conditions about moving to Sydney.
Well,
And
right. So.
one of them.
So I've just Googled a Vitamix, and it's just like a really, I'm going to share the screen. It's just like a really fancy looking blender.
Oh, okay.
That's the Vitamix. So $639. Wouldn't have a clue. I've got a $30 blender from Kmart, and it works a treat.
Yeah. I got it from Target, and I gave it away to a friend of mine.
Oh, she must from Target, I think. But why? How can they justify charging this much? What does this thing? It's got built-in wireless connectivity. What the fuck?
Why would you need that?
It recognizes the container size and automatically adjusts program settings.
Well, isn't that just about pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, whoopee-doo. I can measure the quantity in a little jug and put it in there. I mean, most blenders have got, surely this one's
a digital timer, so I can put all my ingredients in and come back after work, and it'll be all blended for me.
But look at like any blender, look on the jug bit. It's got the measurements there anyway. So wouldn't you just put your liquid in like you do on any normal blender?
Look, most blenders do. The base case has the different measurements.
Meanwhile, well, I think that's just a very overpriced
I would buy
it. But Lady Pegasus raises an interesting question. Which is better, the KitchenAid or the Kenwood? They are both top of the range. Well, from my perspective, I've never used a Kenwood, and I went KitchenAid because I've always loved them because they've got that retro look. The colours are gorgeous. You can do all kinds of cool things. I've started using mine for a lot of savoury stuff. I still haven't made – one of my subs, Glenn, told me a recipe which is like the dip is like buffalo wings with a blue cheese dressing, but it's a dip that's got chicken in it as well.
Ooh.
And she said you can you steam the chicken breasts and put it in the KitchenAid using the paddle, the standard paddle, and it will shred your chicken.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to give that a crack. So from my perspective, I went with are you happy with the link I got there, Rustic Mockery, or are you thinking of a different one? Yeah, but it is Serenity Bees, right? It's all in the brand names and the cost. But for me, I always wanted one. My dream was to have a KitchenAid. And when I watched cooking shows that use them, I was just like, because it reminds me of my grandma's old mix masters.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say, Glenn? Have you?
I have had both. In my experience, mum and dad at the bakery, they had a commercial Kenwood, which was weird. It was like twice the size, but it was so loud. Like every time you turn it on, and they really only ever used it to whip cream.
Right.
But it was, very loud and annoying. And we had one at home which was domestic size. And there are certain features in terms of how the beaters do their thing. I never really ever had to scrape the Kenwood down, but with the KitchenAid, you do need to pull it up and give it a little bit of a scrape, and then put the paddle back down. For me, I'm exactly the same as you, Tori. I just love the look of it.
Yeah.
I do not want a Kenwood on my kitchen bench.
And that's the thing. I wonder if this is
it was a commercial kitchen out the back where no one was looking at it. Happy to have a Kenwood, but not in the back here.
Is this the Vitamix? Rustic Mockery just said it's similar, but the square one. Is this the one you're talking about? Because I have seen cooking shows using this one, and see the handle.
Yeah.
That actually holds this thing that you slot it into that handle, and it's like a dildo that you shove. I mean, it sits in the handle, but you shove food and things down with it. It's got a name. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like this pointy thing that you poke all the food down.
A shunt sounds good. It's like that sounds like something that would shove food.
No, it's got a really funny name, and I've got a feeling Vitamix did like telemarketing. You know, like they, you know, those shows that used to do all the crap you can buy online. I mean, this isn't crap. That's $550.
That looks very similar to a lot of the juice places that do fresh juices, and they have like
it does. It looks like a Boost juice.
6 or 7, you know, platforms, and they've all got that square jug that they just whack in the dishwasher and bring out, and you know, do their thing. I'm just going to put my
we'll do, because Mel Mel's got a Kenwood, so I'm keen to see what Mel Mel says about hers, because I've got no experience with a Kenwood, and I've got to say I do think they're really pretty as well. I like them too. I just prefer the KitchenAid with a bit more retro-y. And what's Glenn doing? I hope he didn't just pass. Oh, there he's back. We just heard a loud noise. I thought, shit, I hope he hasn't just passed out in the pantry.
No. I've got this little area where I've got my platters and stuff.
Now, Mel Mel's got a Kenwood
scales there for the moment.
Mel Mel's got a Kenwood chef, so I want to hear her version of, because I don't have any experience with them, but I've seen a Kenwood chef that was like a kind of a caramel color, and it was really beautiful. But I still went KitchenAid because I just always wanted one.
I'm talking about like really old school Kenwoods. When I first was taught, like, I remember years ago when I was living up at Ooze, and I was all of about, I don't know, 4 or 5, and the lady up the road, Poppy Bauman, she had a Kenwood at home, which we never did. We just had one of those Sunbeam.
Yeah, the mixed master.
Which most people had, and I reckon that Mum and Dad probably got that for their wedding present. And you see a lot of them.
I love the Mixmaster. My mum had one. I wish I had it because I loved the bowls. The ceramic bowls that came with the Mixmaster were gorgeous.
My sister-in-law has got one, and she's not a very good cook, but she inherited it from her mother. And, so when I come home, back to Tassie, I get to play with the old Sunbeam Mixmaster.
Oh, gorgeous.
Which is great, and it looks brand new. You know, it's been taken care of so well. But I mean, the Kenwoods that I was like aware of as a kid, and the one that Mum had, like, were the original, and perhaps they're not quite as noisy as they used to be in terms of the motor, because they really had a very strong motor in them.
Yeah, hardcore. Biscuit. Poor little girl. I don't know what's going on with this. Her breathing's been really bad all day today. I'm worried.
Yeah, you're taking her tomorrow though, aren't you?
Yeah, and she's still. You're right. She knows I'm live. She doesn't like it when I'm live, and I've been live for a couple of hours now. So she's like, "When are you finishing? Are you ready to do a taste test of your soup?"
Yes, I have cooked, blitzed.
I'm keen to see what you think of it.
I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time. I'm not going to double dip.
Don't forget to put the crunchy topping on it, though.
it's quite thick and creamy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very thick. That's what I was saying. I ended up only having 3/4 of the bowl and it wasn't a huge bowl.
You're right.
How good is it?
It's the Dijon mustard is incredible.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
But that is the main attraction for me.
Yeah, it was for me too. And that's what I was saying. Even though I forgot to put the paprika in, the bacon and everything at the end, I don't think it really mattered because the flavour in the soup is so good. And I quite liked the bacon and the nuts and the crunchy bits of cauliflower weren't overpowered by paprika.
That's so yummy.
And look at that. I've got a whole container of that yummy topping.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'll probably have that too because my partner doesn't eat bacon. So.
But this would also be lovely. I mean, you could sprinkle this over a salad. You could put it on top of an omelette or some scrambled eggs. Like you could use.
It'd be great on a Caesar salad, wouldn't it? It'd be like you wouldn't need croutons because you have the crunch of the nuts.
Yep.
So that would be.
Well, I'm going to give the soup. There's prayers coming out for biscuit. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to give the soup 20 out of 10. What are you going to give it, Glenn? I mean, it's probably a 30 out of 10. That soup is so good. And if you're not a huge fan of cauliflower, anyone that's been watching this, because there's cream cheese and Dijon, you cannot actually taste the cauliflower. Even in the crunchy bit on top, the little bits of crunchy cauliflower, they're just like another little bit of nut. Did you find that? It doesn't taste. If you want to smuggle some vegetables into your kid's diet, that soup is amazing. And it doesn't taste I love cauliflower, but for people who don't, that would just be like, I'd never make that because yuck. It doesn't taste, it's not an overpowering cauliflower flavor at all. The Dijon mustard and the cream cheese and then all those lovely crunchy things on top, they're the flavors.
The butter. Don't forget the butter.
Don't forget the butter. And then the rolls. Look, I've accepted that with keto, as much as I used to love sourdough in particular, that there's never going to be a keto bread that is the same as a bread. But that being said, straight out of the oven, piping hot and lashings of butter, they were really good. So I'm actually going to give them, compared to the loaf that I made a few weeks ago, that packet one, I think I prefer these because I made them from scratch. I am going to try, there was a variation in the notes that I read, Glenn, where somebody had, instead of separating 3 eggs, they just used 2 eggs, whole, like eggs and yolk, and they said it turned out better.
Oh.
So the next time
I'd
I make...
be happy to do that because I always, when I separate eggs, I struggle to find something to make, or I lose the motivation to use it, and the next thing I know,
just get your little food processor out and make mayonnaise with it. There's a brilliant mayonnaise recipe on that website.
I saw that today, and I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
What I've been doing is using store-bought mayonnaise, and then I looked at the ingredients list, and I'm going, that cannot be good.
No, because they've smuggled sugar and all sorts of things. I mean, if you can find a whole egg mayo that doesn't have any sugar added to it or any starchy kind of things, it's fine. Have a look at the carbs on there, though. But, yeah, the mayo. So when you do have egg yolks left over, it takes seconds just to whiz up some mayo, and then you've got that. Because, as you would have probably noticed, too, a lot of the keto recipes quite often – in a dish where I probably would have used sour cream, and sometimes I opt to, but they often have mayo in casseroles and things like that. Like they use it a lot.
I've noticed that. And look, there are a number of recipes that have that little dab of mayo or a good dab. And you can do a keto chicken Caesar salad. And I was thinking, oh, well, it's, and I think that, they use that recipe of mayo and add some Dijon mustard and other bits and pieces.
And possibly, I imagine anchovies are fine too.
Yes, I'm not a fan of
oil. I love the tuna. I've always bought tuna in spring water, and I love it. I switched to keto, and it's like tins of tuna. Just make sure they're in olive oil. I'm like, oh my god, they're even down for the oily tuna. But I've still got some tuna and spring onion. Oh, not spring onion, spring water.
Yeah,
but like only use
oil because I can give that to puppy. You can actually, Frenchies can have that as long as it's in spring water.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm happy to use it. I think some of the dishes I've made, I've pared back, like the tuna casserole that I make, which is off the Diet Doctor website. I actually use the spring water tuna because there's already shitloads of other sources of oil in that as well, which is so like it's yummy. But it was the first time I made it was way too oily, so I ditched the tuna in oil and not ditched it, but I only used the spring water because it was just too oily. We've got to make that chocolate cake, don't we?
You do, and voila. Bon appetit!
Bon appetit! Lady Pegasus just had some nice fresh Baker's Delight bread sandwich with banana on it. Oh. All right, so the pizza, are you going to do a taste test for that too, or are you going to save that to have for dinner with your partner?
I am, and if I ate it now, I will burn the crap out of the top roof of my mouth, and I'll be...
Don't do that.
I'll have dead skin in my mouth for a week.
What?
Yeah, I've got to wait for him to get to deal with it. But that's it. That's my my go-to with the bread. I would have made the rolls, but I had the pizza base that's been in the fridge for a couple of days, and I figured I better use it up. So.
Well, it looks great. I'm sure it smells amazing. So before we sign off, what score are you going to give the soup out of 10?
For me, I'm not going to go above. It's definitely a 9.
A 9?
I'm a harsh person when it comes to scoring, but for me, 9 is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually giving it 10 out of 10. If we're going to do proper scores, I'm going to give that 10 out of 10.
Right.
And the bread's
the only reason, Tori, is because I hate cauliflower. So for me to have that and to eat it is a very rare thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm not bagging your score.
Cauliflower, and he'll think it's just divine. But for me, I still struggle probably just with the fact that it's called cauliflower soup.
Yeah, well, I'd call it pancetta or bacon and nuts on a creamy white soup. I don't know. Yeah. Lady Pegasus, Glenn just showed the pizza. You have to bring it back over to the camera, Glenn, because Lady Pegasus.
Okay. I better get the rights.
I'm giving the bread as a keto bread. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 straight out of the oven with butter on it. But in terms of eating it cold, I know that every single one of those little buns will get toasted, and I also know you can freeze them too. So I'll probably pop a couple in the freezer because I'll be eating soup for the next couple of days. And there's the pizza. It looks amazing.
Oh, it smells lovely. Wow.
Picture perfect, Glenn. Well done.
Yeah, I often wish that I had bought a pizza shop years ago, but
well, no, because I worked in a pizza shop. Because I worked in lots of jobs to put myself through uni, but one of them was in a pizza shop, and the worst thing about it was it put me off eating pizza for about a decade. So, nah. You don't ever want to own anything that's making the food that you love to eat.
I look, as long as it isn't Domino's pizzas, I absolutely can't stand them. And working in my industry, when we have a late night or a tech rehearsal or something that goes beyond and the
You only shit that's
meal break. The next come around, what sort of pizza do you eat? I think, this is exciting. Given the fact that there are, 150,000, independent pizza places in Sydney that you could support. No, what do we get? Domino's pizzas. And I just go, yeah, sorry.
Everyone's loving your pizza stick, Glenn. Serenity B says, wow, that looks great. Lady Pizza says, that looks awesome, Glenn. Wish you could pass it through the internet. Service with a smile. Well, thanks again for jumping on with me, Glenn. And also a huge thank you to the fabulous Will the Rocker, who was up with us before. He's so funny.
He's such a great guy.
He's such a great guy. And thanks to everyone who's been watching over on Facebook. Thank you to everyone who's been keeping us entertained in chat. I'm going to schedule the chocolate cake maybe so it is keto friendly because I'm going back to hardcore keto Monday. It is keto friendly, that recipe you sent me, right?
Yes. The
chocolate cake.
I use stevia as a sweetener, but you could use your monk fruit. I think you showed me that last time. So whatever sweetener, I think it does need a little bit of sweetener in it.
Yeah, I'll probably use
I think it would be very nice without it. It would be very bland.
No, you don't sweetener. I'll use the salted caramel monk fruit sweetener that I've got.
I reckon that would work really well.
Well, it's yummy.
Yeah,
and I love it.
I can't think of anything in it that is not keto friendly because it's all it's almond meal, cocoa, eggs.
I remember looking at it.
Butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So I might make a chocolate cake, and then I can always deliver it down to my friend because there's no way I'm going to eat a whole chocolate cake. My sister's coming down on Saturday for a walk, but she's coming in the morning, so I suppose I could make it tomorrow, I guess.
Look, I didn't frost it. You can do a keto frosting, but what I did was just made a chantilly cream with vanilla and stevia. So again, a natural sweetener which wasn't sugar. Normally you put some sugar in it, and had that with berries or blueberries or fresh berries, just on top. And I think it kind of cuts through it's a little bit more like a brownie than an actual cake. It's quite dense.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'll make it. I might have a look at it and possibly do it tomorrow. And if not, I'll do it on Sunday. Look,
I've made it twice. It's really simple to get it together. And it doesn't take a hell of a lot of time to cook. So yeah, good luck with it. Enjoy.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. It's been great fun hanging out. Take care, Glenn, and see you out on the Facebook world. Thanks for jumping on. And again, thanks to Will the Rocker. Stay groovy, everyone, and we'll see you all again very soon.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.